The last part of this chapter is development of nationalism, liberalism, extremism. There were many issues in Indian National Congress also. Lokmanya Tilak and Mahatma Gandhi joined Indian National Congress, and as they joined, they inspired and influenced masses. Public gatherings were there. People were very much influenced by these personalities. Mahatma Gandhi became the major hero of the struggle. There were two groups formed. First group was liberal group, that is moderate group. Moderate leaders, major leaders were Dadabhai Nehru ji, Surendranath Banerjee, Firoz Shah Mehta, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, and many more. Moderate leaders thought that we should always ask for freedom in the form of appeals, delegations, meetings, and influence the Britishers. We should publish newspapers like India from London. Newspaper naming India was published from London because the people who were living in London also know that how Indians were suffering. Logical approach was followed. They were not at all aggressive, they were not at all violent. They had a peaceful talk with Britishers. They demanded reduction in taxes which were there on farmers, appointment of Indian officers on higher post, cottage industry should be started again, increase in the number of elected members in assemblies and provincial assemblies. But as they were moderate leaders, Britishers always ignored their demands and issues. Not a single demand was fulfilled, and they were disheartened again. The term self-rule was introduced by Tilak during this time, in the last decade of 19th century. Self-rule. Self-rule means self means ourself and rule means the power to rule ourselves. Swaraj, khud ka Raj. Moderates formed a platform for discussions and allowed to enter in the conferences. Britishers were not allowing them earlier, but after the meetings they were allowed to enter the conferences. Moderates played a major role in increasing the awareness among Indians about the outflow of money from India, about economic conditions of India, about our rights, about the right and wrong for Indians. But they were very slow in putting their demands in front of Britishers. Next, I'll tell you about the second group of Indian National Congress, that is extremists. Other name for extremism is aggressive nationalism. The other group emerged after 1905 as this group was tired of appeals, peaceful talks, requests, delegation. It was just opposite of moderate group. They were doing a very slow job for getting our freedom, but extremist leaders were fast in approach. They wanted to pressurize Britishers to give right to Indians. The major causes why this group emerged, why there was a need of this group. First is dissatisfaction towards the working of moderates. Extremists were totally dissatisfied with the working of moderates because extremists had no faith in Britishers, as Britishers never fulfilled their demands, and Extremists created a mass movement, not moderates. Moderates were not working at that scale which extremists wanted. Failure of legitimate movements. Legitimate movements were there. Britishers promised Indians to give rights, but no rights were given to the Indians. Indians were made fools. Time after time, we were not given any right, no demand was fulfilled. So extremist leader thought that moderates will never get their demands fulfilled through legitimate means. Reactionary policy of British rule. Britishers always tried to create racial discrimination, inhuman behavior against Indians, prejudices. These things irritated extremist leaders. They were not at all satisfied with the working of moderates, because in the presence of moderate leaders also, Indians were not treated well. Economic policy of Britishers. Economic policy, heavy loss to Indian industries, Indian wealth flowing out of India because of exports. England imports were easily allowed in India, no taxes were charged. These situations made extremist leaders very aggressive because Indian wealth was flowing out. Social and cultural religious movements, mainly Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal. These three were so encouraged because of religious and cultural movements. The social reformers and their associations influenced the extremist leaders. Natural calamities like drought and plague. Mumbai at that time was suffering from plague. India was under many severe conditions, but Britishers were least bothered about Indians. They kept exploiting Indians, and Indians were suffering at the time of drought. There was no food to eat. Plague, there was a disease spread in India, but Britishers were not at all bothered. Impact of Western thinking in foreign revolutions. Many countries were getting victorious and getting freedom. So Indians were also inspired. Impact of Western thinking and foreign revolution. Many educated Indians knew that we should fight and stand for our own freedom, and we should have equality and self-esteem in our country. They knew that if we will not fight, we will never get our freedom. They were also inspired by foreign revolutions. Many countries like Italy, Japan, they were fighting at that time and they were victorious. So Indians were inspired because of these victories to fight for their own nation also. Most important cause of aggressive nationalism was partition of Bengal. Britishers divided Bengal into two parts, and this affected Indians a lot. Aggressive nationalists thought that the last method to fight for the freedom is non-violence, and racial development was also taking place. Hindus and Muslims were being divided, and this inspired aggressive nationalists to take a major part in the freedom struggle. Development of extremist movement. As extremists started entering the Indian organizations, many different activities took place. Ganesh Utsav festival was organized for the first time in India in 1893. Just because of the aggression of nationalist leaders, they were starting the Indian culture in India again. Shivaji Jayanti was celebrated in India on large scale in 1899. and extremist leaders were so disheartened because of the British behavior for the Indians that in 1896-97 there was plague in Maharashtra, and these leaders were playing major role in Maharashtra. Extremists were different from moderates in many parameters. They believed in sacrifices, they believed in martyrdom, they believed in boycott, Swadeshi, and Indian education. They never took the very peaceful method, they took the aggressive method of fighting. They used words like Swadeshi for self-governance. Swadeshi means our own motherland and we will govern our motherland. Foreign goods were boycotted under extremism. Government jobs, institutions, awards were also boycotted. Indians left their government jobs. Use of Swadeshi goods were adopted. We used our own goods. Because of this Swadeshi, Indian industries again started flourish because we boycotted foreign goods on the appeal of extremist leaders. National education program was started. We were not starting Western education, we were starting our own national education programs. Schools and colleges were opened, and these colleges were used for political discussions and plannings. Extremists were much more courageous than moderates because they knew that Britishers will never fulfill demand through the right or through the simple method. They should have a blow. Many important points are there regarding extremists, the radical movement. If this movement was not there in India, if there were no extremist leaders, we wouldn't have got a mass movement in India. A mass movement was very much needed at that time. All the people took part, and they never resorted to the path of violence. They kept to their word, but they never created a violent situation. Boycott, Swadeshi, national education developed self-esteem, self-confidence among Indians, and we became self-dependent and self-reliant. We had that confidence that now we can fight for our freedom. By hook or by crook, we want our freedom back. There were major extremist leaders who played active part in the freedom struggle. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, that is Lal, Bal, Pal. First I'll tell you about Lala Lajpat Rai. He led movement in Punjab. He was also known as Sher-e-Punjab because he was very brave in this movement. He inspired people through his newspaper known Kayast Samachar. Through this newspaper he inspired people. He protested against the partition of Bengal. He was against the partition of Bengal. He believed in Swaraj and good governance in India. And if Lala Lajpat Rai was not there, major freedom fighters who were there under Lala Lajpat Rai were not been there. Bhagat Singh was there, Sukhdev, Rajguru, they were all under the leadership of Lala Lajpat Rai. Next is Bipin Chandra Pal. He was very influential orator, educationalist and journalist. He was an educated Indian. He played major role in Bengal and voiced his opinion through New India newspaper and Vande Mataram. Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He is called the father of aggressive nationalism. Father means he was the main leader of aggressive nationalism. His political thinking was influenced by religious thinking. He always did what was right according to the religious point of views. Swaraj is my birthright and I must have it. I shall have it. This slogan was given by Bal Gangadhar Tilak during the time of national awakening. He also believed that political freedom can only be got by justice, sacrifice. He inspired the youth of India and always wanted the people should come and fight for their freedom. In this way, Lal Bal Pal is explained by me. So, this chapter is completed. I hope you all have understood the national awakening in India, political organizations before Indian National Congress, how Indian National Congress was formed, and finally how Indian National Congress was divided among two groups, liberal parties, or we can say moderates, and extremists, that was aggressive nationalism. In the next chapter I will tell you about freedom related movements and how India got freedom. Thank you.